body. And today we'll be talking about a major aspect of health, which is about aging, how we can reduce the level of how we can reduce the effect of aging on our body. All right. And talking about the phases of our operation as an NGO, we have phase one, which is sharing of opportunities of different kinds. I talked about that earlier. Then the phase two is capacity trainings and buildings, panelists coming to share at least once a month. We have the third phase, which is the on-ground physical involvement in community service by members in different countries. And now this is still in the development stage, although we started a few months ago, but it's we started, so it's still like in the preparatory stage, but it's part of what we do. It's part of our goals in KDF. Also, the phase four, which is bringing young people who are doing great stuff to challenge others so that they can bring them out of their comfort zone. And these young people will be invited as panelists, and they can also encourage people also encourage even old and even young folks. Yeah. So we're talking about our projects now. We have different types, different kinds of projects that we do. We have the BAS project, which is the Bankola Kifalari Scholarship Foundation for Youth. This project caters for students who are in need, like payments of tuition, feeding, transportation, living costs, accommodation, and monthly stipends. This project caters for that. We also have the LRF, which is called the Landmark Rescue Fund. It's a one-time rescue fund, which is given on two levels. The first one is certificate year education. It's a rescue kind of project for people who are in critical need academically, which will lead to an award of an expected certification, for example, like students in the final year. So that is what this LRF caters for. Then we have the BEF, the Business Empowerment Foundation. This caters for people who are jobless and they need to start a business as soon as possible, and a scalable business, of course, not just any business. So talking about the PDT and the personal development track. This is a long-term intensive coaching with monthly trainings to enhance personal development in different facets of life. Then we have the THDS. The THDS is the Talent Harvest and Development Scheme. This caters for people who are academically sound and brilliant with no financial support from anyone. This is to help them go through their education. So we have the non-academic skill and talents fund. This is for those who they are the kind of people that they are not interested in going to school, but these are people who are who are sound in terms of skills acquisition. So this fund caters for that. And that will bring me to the end of our project and at the end of the summary about KDF. So right now I will be introducing the team. We have just two members of the team online now. Mr. Shegun will be joining us soon, I believe. As I said earlier, my name is Aderonke from Turkey. I am the coordinator, project coordinator, and the compliance officer. Then we have Mr. Akin Folari, who is the founder and the PDT director. Can we see you, sir? As I'll be handing over to you. Okay. All right. Over to you, sir.
Okay. All right. Thank you very much. Well, welcome to this conference again to this Health is Wealth conference today. Like it has been said before, this is the fourth edition of it, 4.0. So we've had the first, second, and third, and here we have the fourth edition of this Health is Wealth conference, and it's one of our commitments to the community where we come once in a month like this to have a virtual conference to impact knowledge, supply understanding as much as possible to people in different facets of life, in health, in finance, in business, in all walks of life, touching different aspects of life. Last month, we had a conference also, all the way from Kenya. We had a speaker who came around to talk to the community about how to identify and turn your transferable skills into channels of wealth. We had two versions of that. Was it two? Okay, yeah, I think we had one version of that. Okay, so and now here we are again for the Health is Wealth conference. And like it has been said, we have a couple of projects also that we run, and you've already heard the breakdown and what we do under each of those projects. And of course, the community and all those projects are still in the very first stages. So they are in the beginning stages of execution. Like we said earlier, when the community launched, it's the vision is broken down into stages and levels, which we're executing in bits. And one of the long-term goals of the community is this virtual conference becomes a contact conference that will be held globally, that will be hosted in different countries at different points in time. So it means sometime later, part of our long-term goals is to have this kind of conference as a contact conference in, let's say, a place like Toronto in Canada. Another time we can have it in New York City in the United States. Another time we can have it in Amsterdam in the Netherlands. Sometimes later we can have it in Geneva in Switzerland. So that's one of the long-term goals of the community. Okay, but we started virtually. And the projects we also run, they are projects that I kind of give back to the society, where we have the opportunity to build the community, where we have the opportunity to impact the community at different levels. Of course, like you've heard, those projects target different channels in the society. They target different sets of people in the society. And they are also there to solve different problems, help different people in different groups and from different backgrounds and different challenges and also different needs. Okay, so so we believe we are getting closer to the next phase of our projects in the community. By next year, you'll be getting to know the details, the next plan of the next phase of the execution of our visions in the community. You get to know that next year. Okay, and also a couple of other things that we'll be introducing next year. So we want to encourage you to just keep in touch with us all across our channels, all across our platforms. Like right now, this is being streamed live on YouTube. And like it's been said also, we just wanted to try out 2 p.m. this time around. Our conferences have always been held 7 p.m. GMT plus 1. So we decided to try out 2 p.m. this time around. Okay, so wanted to see how it goes, what is obtainable this time around. So wanted to see what is obtainable this time around. Okay. Okay. So we understand that many people have been used to the 7 p.m. We hold our conference already. So this might be a bit of tussle for people to adjust to that timing. So maybe what we're going to do by 7 p.m. GMT plus 1, we're going to we have a kind of rebroadcast. We'll look at how that goes, but this is being recorded live on YouTube, so it's going to be there on YouTube. So in case of those who think it's still 7 p.m. as usual and miss out on this 2 p.m. live session, so they can be directed to the YouTube platform by 7 p.m. to catch up. So it's not fixed. So we are not moving the conference to 2 p.m. to afternoon. This is just like a test run for us to see if afternoon works better. We've always been having 7 p.m. So it's just like a test run anyway. Yeah. So that being said, once again, you're welcome. And I was talking to someone 2 days back, and we got to talk about matters of health this time around. We live in a generation now where when you really need to, I mean, I that also reminds me of an experience I had. I went to a mall sometime early this month, and then I wanted to buy some banana, and then I I saw the banana, but I wasn't feeling really cool. I didn't just know, so I picked the banana. Very unlikely of me, so I picked it. Everybody was buying, picking, going, and all that. So anyway, I took a bunch. So like a strap, anyway, not a whole bunch, like a strap of a bunch. So I took it, bought it. Then when I got home, very, 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 I mean, freshly ripe, very fresh. I mean, very fresh, good to behold. In fact, you begin to salivate, seeing it, you just really want to unwrap and start eating immediately. And you know what? I so when I got home, I dropped it. And then the next morning, of course, I mean, I was just praying, and my eyes just went to the banana, and then I had a caution in my heart. And the caution I was getting in my heart is not to take that banana there. That is not healthy. It's not organic. It's really quite dangerous for the health. That it's a GMO product. So it was difficult for me. So I just picked the banana immediately. I went to trash it. Very, very, so fresh. I mean, really quite fresh. Now, my point is, do you know how many people consumed that particular product that same day? All across different stores that they supplied that banana that day. That was just my concern, right? That was my concern. So I began to think about it. Do you know what people consume these days without even knowing the effect? They don't know the overall health status of what they consume. We are such in a world now that there's no better time to know God personally, and there's no better time to have the Holy Spirit other than now, really. Because I would have taken that banana relief not for the Holy Spirit that just whispered that to me, and then I had a very clear reason for not taking it, and then I had to trash it. Then my heart went for those who took it, and then I was concerned. Now, that being said, there was a particular conversation I was having with someone also like 2 days back. We're talking about palm oil, the importation of palm oil and all that. And we're talking about a particular brand of palm oil that is considered at least the best, maybe closest to the best you can get abroad. It's made from Guinea. from the Republic of Guinea. And you know, when you check those products, really, it's not something you can detect with your eyes. It's not something you hardly know the difference. You hardly know exactly what is going on. But I mean, it's just quite it's just a generation where a lot of things are wrong with what we eat. Okay, so getting knowledge, getting information, getting understanding will not be a bad idea about your health, about how to live healthy, what about aging? You know, it's also part of the things the speaker will be talking about today. What about aging? Are people aware of the details and what they need to be aware of as far as aging is concerned? You know, I tell people personally, this is my own saying that what you don't know is bigger than you. Okay, what you don't know is bigger than you. There's nothing you can do about it. Once you don't know it, it's bigger than you. You can't profit from it. It can't help you. Okay, so that's why I encourage people as much as possible, go for knowledge. I encourage people as much as possible, go for knowledge. Go for knowledge. Go for knowledge. As much as possible, go for understanding. Anything that is going to supply knowledge, that's going to supply understanding, go for it. Because once you are not aware, it is bigger than you. And what is bigger than you, there's nothing you can do about it. If you're not aware of your health, you discover that your health will be bigger than you. And if you don't pay attention to it, it can become something bigger than what you can handle later. So what you don't know, basically, generally, is just bigger than you. So it means just by possessing knowledge and understanding, you are bigger than that thing. Because you can now play with the information you have, with the understanding you have, you can play. So you're bigger than that thing. But once you are in ignorance, basically you are at a disadvantage. So that's why this kind of conference where we come together like this once in a month, you know, people who have track record in what they do, global figures with sound knowledge, sound practical understanding, you know, have sound practical application of what they do over time with results to show for it. We bring them here to come speak just for free. You know, these are people that really, if you want to have a session with them, it's something you just have to pay for. I mean, you just can't stumble on them and get the information for free. Information is money. That's also one of the things I tell people. Information is money. It's money. And one of the things that you can always do is you know, in fact, all these majority of these YouTubers, I believe, you know, I mean, there are just a couple of YouTube channels and all that. It's not as if these people really went to the four walls of a classroom to learn about what they are telling you on YouTube. No, they sat down, they got on the internet and began to make research. Okay, they began to make research. They began to look for knowledge. They were looking for understanding. They were looking for knowledge. Some of them read books. Okay, they were looking for knowledge, looking for understanding. So they spent their time. Some of them spent money. I've attended conferences that I paid to get the value I derived from that kind of conference. You know, I've attended conferences that I had to pay. And of course, paying, you get value for it, you get knowledge, you get understanding, you get contacts, connections, linkages, you get a whole lot of things. But something is coming out of your pocket in exchange for all that. So all these people, when they now, you know, come on their YouTube channel and they begin to give you information, everything loads in 30 minutes. Now, that 30-minute video could have cost that person, or might have cost that person like 24 or 24 hours of active study, active research. But you are getting compressed 24 hours in a 30-minute clip. Is that not amazing? And you know what? The sad thing is this. Still, that 30-minute clip is still a difficult thing for some people to do. They still cannot sit back and just listen to that 30-minute clip. Now, 24 hours of active research has been compressed into a 30-minute video. Still, you can't sit back and listen to what the person has to say in 30 minutes, and then you will have been wiser and more equipped 24 hours ahead, maybe even 24 years ahead. Because some of those things were written in books by writers who had 30 years experience, 40 years experience, but compressed into a 30-minute clip or compressed into a 40-page book. Okay? Yeah, so that's why as much as possible, when I have the opportunity, I talk to people about the importance of gathering information, knowledge, and seeking understanding per time. You can't, we just can't overemphasize the importance of getting knowledge, getting understanding. It's very, very important. And that's one of our motives for organizing this kind of conferences, okay, where we bring people to come and share that knowledge. What you need, that knowledge, that understanding, free of charge. You pay nothing. So it's important to bear this in mind and to know the importance of what we come to share with the community here every month. And good enough, our YouTube channel is another resource panel where you can always go back to rewatch. Okay, load up, refresh, load up, refresh, load up and refresh every single time, as often as you want. Okay, so that being said, I encourage you to, if you want, share this link with someone. Okay, as we continue in this training, share this link with someone. Let someone be aware, help someone. Let them be aware of what they need to be aware of as far as their health is concerned. Unfortunately, you can't help another person to tend his or her health. You have to be responsible for yours. Okay? So you would really, really be helping someone by telling them about this meeting, sharing the link with them, let them come on board, let them join, and let them come and learn for free. Some of the things you're going to be learning again today, they are things that I'm not sure you can just stumble on them on the internet. You know, these are some of these things are results of lab findings from experts, professors in the world. You know, some of these things are things that have worked practically with people over time, with a track record of success to back it up. So I think it is just simple wisdom to come learn on a platform like this every time there's an avenue to do so. So it's a great pleasure again today to come here to learn. And really, in the previous editions of the Health is Wealth Conference, I've learned a lot personally that I use myself. If you remember, I think maybe the first edition of the Health is Wealth Conference or the second edition, I can't recollect fully now. Maybe the first or the second edition, we talked about GMO foods, genetically modified foods. You know, these are it's just a direct opposite of organic foods, and they are very dangerous to the human health. But there are more of these GMO foods in the society now. They are and it's not something that obvious to detect. That's even the amazing fact. GMO foods can even look fresher than organic foods sometimes. The packaging, it can look so flashy. Like it's just difficult to recognize that, oh, this one is GMO. So these are some of the things we come here to learn, those tricks and hacks that we need to be aware of as far as health is concerned. Okay, so if you have any question, you can always drop it in the chat box as the meeting continues. You can always drop your questions there. So the trainer is going to attend to it at the right time. And also, if you have any concern or any challenge you want to raise with the speaker, this might also be it might also be an avenue for you. Of course, if you want to consult with the speaker, health-wise, definitely is something you have to pay for. You want to consult with him, you have to pay for it, basically. But for the sake of this conference, so if you feel you want to consult with him on anything related to what we're going to be talking about again today, I'm sure he's going to be willing to do that for you for free in this conference, on this call. Okay, on this call. But out of this call, I mean, we don't have control over that. Okay, so we don't have control over that in case he wants to charge you for that. Okay, I mean, he's going to be doing a lot by coming to share for free. Okay, not to talk of consulting for free. Okay, but for the sake of this meeting, I'm saying it ahead of time now so you can follow closely. If you have questions, you have clarifications to make, feel free to put it somewhere, jot it. Once the time is right, then you drop your question. Or you mute yourself and you ask your question. Okay. I want to confirm if our speaker is ready now. I'm trying to do some setups. So I want to confirm if our speaker today is ready. And while doing that, okay, so please do let me know once you are ready, sir. Please do let me know once you are ready and let me know the device to use.
Okay, sir. Okay, just shortly, 5 minutes, I'll be ready.
Okay, all right, sir. Okay. Okay, so yeah, so let's quickly do this. We're thinking of some other additional areas we can explore in our conferences. Maybe there's an area of interest to you that we've not looked into over time, and maybe you want to suggest it as something we look into. We want to hear from you. So maybe if you don't mind, you can let us know. You can unmute your mic or you drop it in the comment box. If there's an area you think we should also look into, we've been looking into health, we've been looking into finance, we've been looking into academics, we've been looking into travels, we've been looking into which other aspect? I mean, we've looked into different, areas of life. Of course, there are still more areas we want to look into, but also bear in mind that very important, getting a trainer who is an expert in that field is also something we consider, and it's not something easy. It's not something cheap to come by. Also, some of these people are very busy executives. That it's not a cheap thing to get them. Okay, but let's hear from you. Let's hear from you. Do you have any area, any facet of life you think we can also look into in our conferences like this that you want to suggest? Anyone like that? Okay, anyone like that? Any area, any aspect of life that you think we should look at? And also, I think in the past also we've looked into some areas of personal development. Time management was one of them. So I can remember we had training on time management from, a doctor from one high institution in Nigeria came around to train us on time, and a very effective training. You might want to go back to our YouTube channel to catch up if you missed it, or perhaps you want to refresh your knowledge about that. Really quite practical, very engaging, very engaging. I encourage you to get back to our YouTube channel and dig it out. I encourage that. Okay, so anyone wants to say anything, or you want to send anything? Let's know, please. Let's know. Feel free to express yourself. We like to hear from you. Okay? We like to hear from you. We want feedbacks. Any aspect of life you think we need to look into, in the coverage of our conferences. Which area do you think we should look into? Okay. Which area? Anyone? Anyone? Temi, Olubukola, Esther, anyone? Have any suggestion? Any area? And I think next year we also will do a couple of more personal development trainings. Yeah, we'll do a couple of more personal development trainings, like we had for the time management on that personal development. So we'll have more of that also. But of course, we are also being choosy in the kind of people we bring to speak, people who are qualified to do it indeed. You don't want to bring someone, you don't want to bring someone to come and talk about indiscipline. And then to talk about discipline, and then the person is not disciplined. I mean, it doesn't add up. So yeah, so yeah, so if someone is coming to talk about discipline, then the person must be disciplined. It's easier for the person to carry the people along in the training because the person will be speaking from experience. The person will be speaking from a life he or she already lives. Okay, so that's one of the things we consider before we bring people to our platform. People who are qualified to actually talk about that thing. People who are qualified to actually speak and inspire and encourage people about that thing. Okay. And also next year, yeah, really this year we had a plan to look into a couple of tech tech trainings, but next year we'll be looking at that. Yeah, tech is one of the areas we'll be looking into next year. Yeah, we'll be looking into that next year. Okay. Okay, Olubukola, I'm looking at if we can explore digital skills. Yeah, quite awesome. Yeah, quite awesome. Please, Aderonke, please kindly take note of that. Please kindly take note of that. Digital skills. Okay. Yeah. Very, very, very important. Digital skills. Yes. We'll look into that next year. And if I may ask, do you have specifics? Olubukola, digital skills, there are quite a lot of them. Do you have any ones in mind? Can you mention the 1, 2, 3, 4, anyone you feel you have in mind? There are quite a lot of digital skills. Lots of them. So we'll be exploring them next year in our conferences. So Olubukola, if you can drop some of them, that would be awesome. So please, Aderonke, take note of that. Then also take note of tech trainings. We'll be looking at tech trainings also. Tech. They will be looking at jobs. So please also take note of that. Aderonke will be looking at jobs. Sourcing for job offers and attending an interview. How do you attend an interview? How do you source for jobs? How do you make use of LinkedIn? How do you maximize LinkedIn for your advantage? LinkedIn, I can say, is a country on its own. Okay, it's a country on its own, and a lot of people have the passport as a citizen of LinkedIn, but they have no idea what the benefit of that passport is. They've got no idea. They've got no idea. You can have a passport to a country, and that passport gives you access to a whole lot of benefits, but you're not even aware of those opportunities. You are not aware of what offers you get as a citizen with that passport. That happens to a lot of LinkedIn account holders. A lot of people have LinkedIn accounts, and they are basically not maximizing it because they are not aware of what they can get out of LinkedIn. So we'll be looking at that. Very important, please. Please, I don't get take note of that. Very, very important. LinkedIn. How do you profit from LinkedIn? What exactly is LinkedIn? What does it look like on LinkedIn? LinkedIn is not there's a different platform entirely from Facebook, from Twitter, which is now X, from Instagram and all, and TikTok and the likes. It's completely different. It's a professional platform on its own, not a place where you are sharing picture or, you are sharing picture of your food, or sharing picture of your new set of clothing. LinkedIn is not that platform. LinkedIn is where you build your personal brand. Okay. Is where you build personal or corporate brand. If you have a business account on LinkedIn, you can build your business brand. If you have a personal account on LinkedIn, you can build your personal brand. That's whom you are. That's what. So I mean, it's a lot. It's a lot. It's a lot. So we're going to be looking at that next year. LinkedIn. You'll look at that next year. Then we'll also look at some of the things people need to be aware of when they are considering traveling. Okay, if you know you're going to be traveling in the next 6 months, what are the things you need to start looking at right now? Okay, what are the things you need to start looking at right now? And I think personally, I will also take a training on that personally next year. So please take note of that too, okay? So I will take a training personally on that too next year. If you're traveling, you know you're going to be traveling in 6 months' time, you're going to be traveling in 1 year's time, you're going to be traveling 2 years' time. What are the things you need to start doing right now, and be ahead of time? We'll look at that next year also. So these are amazing things we're going to be considering next year, all for free. Okay. Okay. Yeah. Thank you. Thank you. Olubukola. Okay. Data analysis, content creation, content writing, graphics, web designs, video editing. Yeah. 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 Quite important. Yes. Quite vital. Quite vital. Yeah. Quite vital. Quite vital. Please take note of those skills. Aderonke, please take note of them. There are a whole lot of them, a whole lot of digital skills. We'll be looking at them next year also. So really, next year is loaded already for us. Next year is loaded for us already. And some of the things we are also going to be launching next year, maybe towards the end of this meeting, we'll be talking about that. Yeah. Is our speaker ready now?
Okay, sir.
Is our speaker ready now?
Yeah, we are ready now.
We can barely hear you, sir.
Okay, can you hear me now?
There's echo.
Let me.
There's a feedback somewhere. I think you're connected with a couple of devices. So maybe you might have to disconnect the audio of some of them. Okay, yes, Olubukola. Okay, I'm also looking at training of finance, trading skills, investment plans, and strategy. Yeah, yeah, that's financial education. Yeah, yeah, we'll look at financial education next year too. Yeah, that's financial education. Please take note of that too, Aderonke. Take note of that, financial education. We'll look at financial education next year. Another financial education, we'll look at trading skills, investment plans. We'll look at what in fact we will recommend books. So we also look at books that can also further help you on financial education, financial management. Yeah, we'll look into all that next year. Yeah, thank you very much, Olubukola. These are valid suggestions. Thank you. Thank you very much for that. Thank you. Digital education financial education is very, very important. Okay, are you ready now?
Yeah, I'm sending a message now. I hope you can hear me.
Okay, yes, we can hear you loud and clear now, sir. Okay, it's a great pleasure today. Once again, we're going to be having our speaker, our trainer speak to us today. Is a known face already in our midst. He's a person of caliber. He's a man of integrity, and also he's a man of a body of knowledge and results in what he does. And that qualified him already to be the best speaker on this platform right now. We bring you the best speakers from all across the world. And it's going to be training us live from Nigeria, Western Africa on this day, looking at some of the, let me say, secrets, because maybe some of those things you might not have heard them before, and they might not have been really that public. Some of the findings in the lab, some of the things that have been used in the past and used currently that are benefiting people health-wise. What we need to be aware of. Definitely, we'll be hearing a lot from our speaker today. And it's a great pleasure today as we welcome our speaker today in the person of, he really doesn't want us to call him a doctor. So he wants us to call him just his name. Okay. And I think he will also better introduce himself the way he wants when it comes up. So let's welcome Mr. George Dosu as he takes us again today. So welcome.
All right, thank you very much. It's a privilege to be here once again. Thank God for this opportunity to meet with us again. This is our fourth edition. Like I usually say, I'm also a member of Bank of Opportunity. I want to appreciate my brother, Akifolarin, my sister as well, Sister Ronke. Well done. You guys are doing a great work, and it's a privilege to be part of what you people are doing. And I know that we are getting stronger and bigger and wider. I can see we have more ideas coming in, and then more things are going to come in. And then we're going to look at different aspects of life in terms of human life. I want to suggest you should look at AI.
Yes.
Yes,
Yes.
it's going to take over. You know, the AI cuts across the whole eco space of everything, ecosystem of all the business, health-wise, and
Yes, and sorry, sir. That reminds me. That reminds me. One of the areas we are looking at next year. I just remember now. Aderonke, please take notes too. We're looking at the how to use AI in to generate to analyze work job requirements and job descriptions to formulate a practical CV for a particular job, and also how to use AI to generate hypothetical job interview questions and how you can handle those things. Very practical. You love it. Very practical, very effective. You love it. We're going to be looking at that next year. So how you can use AI to get a job, basically. How you can use AI to get a job, basically. We'll be looking at that. So that reminds me. Thank you for mentioning that. Thank you.
Additionally, sorry, we are doing this because this is about value creation. There are some high income skills that are not university based. They are coming up now. So, and they are high income, they are, value creating opportunities. They are high impact opportunities with high responsibilities as well. And they do not require 4 years or 5 years or 7 years of training. And, let me even shock you, some of them pay better than the medical. They pay better than many professors even are even paid. So that tells us that, there are opportunities that are coming up now that the market cannot wait for you to go for your training and go and get all the certifications.
Yeah.
You have a year, 9 months training, and you are filling a gap that is very, very critical in different economies, and it is a global opportunity. So these are areas that when we move people into those avenues, they are stopped because some people have already gotten to the point where age is not on their side, or they are beginning to look at what direction and they, digress into and take advantage of the current opportunities, because many modern discoveries and technologies are not yet inculcated into curriculum of schools. So these markets are there waiting for people to explore and things like that. So, thank you very much for giving us this privilege again. I hope that we'll be able to achieve something great today. And we are going to go straight to the point. I do not have very long slides, but I'm going to explain a lot. And I think I'm having a little challenge sharing my screen. I don't know, but basically I will send the document later. I'm trying to see if I can even share it to you so that you can share from your side, but I will need some time to do that. So I am not going to do that. So what we do is to help people to live long. And how can you do that? You can only live longer if you are healthy. Because like my father in the Lord usually say, if somebody gives you $1 million, then giving you $10,000 is not the problem. So the mystery behind that is that if you do not have anything about, if there is no accident or something else, another factor entirely, then if you live healthy, you will live long. Isn't it? That is the equation. If you keep making effort to live healthy daily, you will eventually live long. If there are no other interruptions, But the other side I want to bring up is that sickness can be death in installment. So when people keep falling sick over and over again, and they are being treated over and over again, they are dying gradually, as it were, and then before you know it, they are gone. So it's very important to emphasize, like we have been emphasizing about health as well, in all the conferences, the previous editions, that when you make healthy living a priority, you are already making longevity a priority. And then let me also say here, before I go into the main slide, is that if the things you are going to talk about today, I'm going to give you a simplified version, because that's what we do. We make healthy living simple. What will you take away from this time that you are going to share for this conference? Is that you are going to take away the secret of longevity, things that you can do at home as well. And then if you want to advance, we will also let you know about those opportunities that you can take advantage of in order to live longer. Okay, because living longer is possible. It's very, very possible. Okay. So the shortcut I'm going to tell you today is that anti-cancer natural remedy. Okay, if you follow the natural remedy against cancer, which I'm going to be talking about, that is like the simultaneous solution to longevity as well. Now, a lot of innovations are coming up, associations are coming up. There's an association in the US called the American Association of Anti-Aging, professionals. So they meet every now and then to talk about what next can we do to help people to achieve longer life. Can life be extended? You know, can the gene that determines short life for some people, can it be modified? And then what can be done both professionally as an expert or what can be done as an individual? We are going to go into that. And then we have world proponents, world crusaders, people who have actually achieved this thing we are talking about. You know, so we are going to look at them, look at what they can do. Okay, so please pardon me because of time. I don't want to waste time because of fun. I will send, like we usually do, because we send the document, and then this recording will also be there for you to listen to. So pardon me for not being able to share this screen now because of time, but I will advise that you listen. I have wonderful slides here. Okay, so we are going to be exploring the global research and leading figures in the field of longevity. So we look at global research and we look at the leading figures. So am I permitted to go on, sir? Okay, thank you, sir. So we look at the science of longevity. What are the key research findings from around the world about the science of longevity? So we look at the global, let's examine the global trend first. No, there are diverse approaches to longevity. Different regions, different continents have different things that they have explored, different mechanisms they use to achieve that. Even in the ancient time, we have kings and rulers and empire leaders and, you know, all those mighty things who have always explored longevity. In fact, all those mummies that they exhume in Egypt now and in some other Scandinavian nations, and, you know, Europe and Asia, the Orientals, you know, they have that desire that they want to live long, and they do a lot of things. Some even go into the diabolical realm in order to achieve longevity. But we are going into the science of longevity and then look at what can be done, what can you and me do. Okay? So we have different regions. Everybody is studying longevity. Now, it's one of the major studies. I attended a conference last month on the advanced human life, how to move human life forward, you know, to achieve longevity and a better health condition. You know, organized by a Nigerian company and an international organization, you know, was there with them last month. And they were looking at this matter as well. They were talking about transhumanism. How can human life be extended or advanced? What can be added to human life that will make a man that's supposed to live up to 60 to move to 70 in a better condition, better bone health, better muscular strength, better mind. You know, Alzheimer is a very serious enemy of longevity. Look at some weeks ago, we lost one of the most powerful veteran actors in the world who had some aging condition that debilitating, you know, he could not even speak anymore and then began to affect a lot of things. And he drove himself and then he crashed and died. That's Bruce Willis. That's one of the veteran actors in the US. Because when those are aging issues, aging diseases that he lost the ability to speak, and then the thing began to affect his brain, his response, his talking, he couldn't even speak again, and it affected his health. I don't know how he got into a car. You can look at, if you look at the video, the picture of the crash, it was really, you will know that that kind of person should not even be allowed to drive because those aging matter are, as already said. There are cultural influences on longevity as well. People have different belief systems about longevity. So the extent that some people believe that they will live long, their fathers live up to 120, 110, and they too just assume that they will live long. So is it by choice or by genes? We will get to know about that. So there are social factors to longevity and health and lifespan, right? Such that we can look at what is called the life expectancy in the world, and that shows us that people, different parts of the world, people live at an average lifespan. You know, we are going to look at countries in the world where they live long and what they do, so that we can learn from them, and then we can, can change and adjust. All right. So there are technological advancements to the living and longevity. There are genetic mappings. There are research going on now concerning longevity. So we're going to explore quickly. Okay, so there are pioneers, there are leading figures and their contributions to longevity. We have key researchers that are doing the groundwork on biology of longevity, aging, and they are still doing a lot of research on that. And there are collaborative factors involved in that. So what are the implications of longevity research on society? Okay, from longevity research, society, we are informed about policies aimed at improving quality of life, extending healthy years for aging population. How can aged people live longer, and what can we do for them to, some recent studies show that some European countries are moving into the aging realm season, where almost 50 to 60% of their population is into aging. So we have to consider that as well. In different countries, there are different aging population, average age of people. So there are economic impact of aging. There are economic impact of aging on the population. There are ethical considerations. Now, when it comes to the ethical consideration, the matter is what is legal? We are going to see it very soon. What are the things that are legal for people to do, for them to live longer? And what are things that are can we say they are illegal, or there are no policies covering such yet? We are going to look at that. Okay. All right. So now I will start with who are those people that are spearheading such things. So I'll spend. I don't know if I can share this picture. There is a man called Dr. David Sinclair. David Sinclair, you can check him online. He's a proponent of longevity. Dr. David Sinclair is known for his research on aging, particularly his work on sirtuins. Okay, sirtuins are proteins in the human body that have the ability to stay on the DNA, that when those proteins are on the human DNA and they are not degenerated, that human DNA will remain intact for a very long time. So he is now manufacturing or generating the stock of this protein so that we can add it to our diet and then we can live longer. Okay, the name of the protein is called sirtuin. Sirtuins, sirtuin. Okay, these are proteins that affect longevity. We're going to talk about it more, and that if you have these sirtuins intact in your body, we are going to talk about it. Don't worry, just calm down. We are building the momentum that if you eat certain food and you maintain certain lifestyle and you keep your sirtuins in the right concentration in the body, he has done research and they have used some animals to achieve that. Even he himself has been able to reverse his age. You know, there's something called your natural age. That is when your calendar age. And there's something called your biological clock, which is your biological age. Now, what these people do is in their natural age, they are 50. In their natural age, they can be 55, they can be 75. But when you check them in their calendar age, they can be 55, they can be 60. But in their biological age, when they check their genes, they check their cellular health, they check their mitochondria, they check their physiological age, they realize that they have been able to reverse like 20 years from their age, which means that they have the propensity of living longer than, yes, thank you very much. I can see you posted it. Okay, so as I'm talking about this, there are some other links as well that I will also share. Okay, so there is this, let me go there. I will digress into that. I want to see this, I can hear this, my screen. Okay, can you see my screen now? I hope you can see my screen now. Please, can you see my screen?
Yes, sir.
Okay, thank you very much. All right. So Dr. David, this is Dr. David Sinclair. I'm trying to open a file for you. There's a document I wanted to share on this platform. Just a minute. It's a Word document. Okay. Okay. This document will show. I wanted to help us with these links that we can use. I want everybody to take note of that document. Please just a minute. Let me go to my document. Okay, I have the document now. I want people to screenshot this and take it, because this is the major thing I'm talking about today, and I want everybody to see it, and I want everybody to have it. Okay, the document is open right now. Yes, this is the document. I hope I can send it on our. Okay. I don't know if you can see my screen right now. That's the document. Can everybody see it? I titled it Dr. David Sinclair's Longevity Protocol.
Yes,
This
sir.
man is a Harvard professor on longevity, and I know of almost all these proteins that I mentioned here. These are their research findings and their reports. Please, I will pick them one by one. The last edition of our presentation, I spoke about nicotinamide mononucleotide. I'm sure some of you remember it. Okay, so this is it here now. Please take note of what I'm going to mention. I'm going to mention them one after the other. This NMN is the full name is nicotinamide mononucleotide. Is a protein that has the power to kind of bind the human DNA. You know, people die as a result of when their DNA is weakened and breaks off. In fact, the health of your DNA in your cell, in your singular cell, determines the length. There is a test now that is being run in the US now. I don't know if it has gotten to Europe. They can calculate how many years people have to live. There is a test now they can run. You know what they use? They use this, what is called the telomere. Telomere is the end of the human DNA that keeps the DNA together. Once that telomere breaks off, you know, everybody imagine a broom that has a band holding the broom together. Okay, take every single broom, you know, every single broom as your DNA. That telomere is like the band that holds the human DNA together. If you loosen that band, then all the broom will scatter, right? It's the same thing with the telomere. If they check the length of the human telomere, they can use it to derive the length of the days that the person will live. Because the more the telomere reduces in size, that is how close to death. That is just confirmed, is a research that proven. So what do people do now? People who have the heart can pay for that test and they run it and they check the length of their telomere, which will determine how many years they have to live. Except they do something, you know, to keep their telomere together. And I'm still going to talk about the food you have to eat, but these are the things. Nicotinamide mononucleotide is one of the powders, is one of the proteins. It can be extracted from certain foods, and then it's now made into supplements now. And I can tell you one capsule of this, or the powder, when it is in a powder in a container, it can be up to like $1 million. I don't know how much you have valued it in your own country. Okay, it's very expensive because of the potency. It was discovered by Dr. David Sinclair. You know, Dr. David Sinclair is a Harvard professor on longevity. So this is not some kind of, you know, talker that is just talking. But this guy has some research. Even he himself has been able to reverse his own age. They have checked his age. I think he's over 50 now, but he looks like a 25-year-old boy. Even 25-year-old boys look older than him because he's doing all these things. And so number one is nicotinamide powder. You know, they have that. He has that. Anyway, you can Google it and check more about it. It is extraordinary. Now, let me give you the back end advantage while you are in this conference is that write down nicotinamide mononucleotide. Write down that name and type it on Google. Food, organic foods that are rich in NMN, organic foods that are rich in nicotinamide mononucleotide. You will see the sources. You know, if you go for those foods and you make them like 70% of your food, you're already repairing yourself, you are reversing your age, you are already doing your anti-aging protocol. Okay? The second thing is what is called the resveratrol. These are research proven. That's why we are here. This is a major thing I'm talking about. This is resveratrol. Resveratrol is the protein, the nutrient, the enzyme that is found in red wine, in grapes. Basically grapes. It is found in some other foods as well, but basically wine, red wine, fermented red wine, you know. So we can tell you that red wine, it is from grapes. You know, grapes, these cluster grapes that look like strawberry. You know, we have green grapes, we have red grapes. So it is from there, the grapes family, that you have this resveratrol. This nutrient can extend human life. It has been proven, like a cup or half a cup of resveratrol every day can affect your cardiac health, your blood pressure, your sleeping quotient, your ability to withstand stress. It can boost your immunity and it can affect your acuity, your cognitive power, you know, your memory, your intelligence, your agility, your mental prowess. Okay? So let's take note of that. It's found in whether it is a fruit wine or not, as long as it's a product from the red wine, okay? Whether alcoholic or non-alcoholic. I go for the non-alcoholic. So I encourage everybody to go for the non-alcoholic. It's still the nutrient, except you want people who are alcoholic to take alcohol. Red wine is very, very good. Okay, so red wine is good. The third one is TMG. You can Google that as well. Check for TMG. Is the name. When the names are long like that, we usually just give you the. But when you Google your TMG, see what is there. I'm sure Mr. Bankole will help me with that. Just type TMG Pro powder. You will see the full name. All right. So another thing we're going to talk that affects directly longevity, that affects a man living long, is your calcium level. How many of you notice? Okay, let me see your hand. That you see elderly people, the doctors will tell them always use calcium. They will always tell them that they should take calcium capsules. You know, do you know about that? They tell you to take calcium capsules. Okay, if you are aware of that, let me see your hand. They will always tell adult people to okay, I can see hand. They will tell them why do they tell people to take calcium? Calcium is not just for bone health. Okay, calcium is not just for bone health. Calcium has the ability to, calcium is involved in a lot of metabolic reactions, but it just forms a kind of interjections to the human metabolism, the respiratory system, the digestive system, the immunity system, and a lot of other things like that. Calcium can affect such. So it's important to understand that calcium is not just for bone, it affects collagen. I'm going to come there to collagen, okay, very soon. Let's continue. I want to reduce the screen. All right. So please, anybody, including you, Google foods that are very rich in calcium, foods that are rich in calcium, and make it part of your major meal. Once you do that, you are on your way to longevity, because many things in the body, when calcium is present in the body, there will be muscular strength, there will be bone health, there will be nerves. The body has electrical system, digestive system, and all those things. Calcium plays a vital role in the human metabolism and longevity. Okay, so the next one is called the full spectrum apigenin. Is a protein. When you hear those names that you have not had before, they are making them into supplements now. Apigenin. Apigenin is also like the nicotinamide mononucleotide. That's what apigenin does as well. So it also affects the longevity. These are proteins that influence the DNA, the mitochondria, which makes the body to function the way it is and destroy what is called the free radicals. But when they are free radicals will destroy the human cell, destroy the mitochondria, and destroy the body. Okay? So then this one, everybody knows about it, but they don't know why. People don't know. China's secret. Green tea. Green tea. Okay, so green teas are very good. Drinking tea every time. You notice that very tiny cups. You just drink it when they want to welcome visitors. They will just take the green tea. So let's take note of that as well. Please make sure you take green tea. You don't have to take green tea as a hot. You don't have to take it hot. You can boil green tea, allow it to cool, pour it into a bottle, your pet bottle, add honey to it, and let it become your natural soft drink. Okay? So you can have that as your soft drink, green tea. Okay, that's another way. Just have it in your drink every day as much as possible. Have a pot of green tea, whether hot or cold. Just keep taking. All right. The other one is called berberine. Berberine is one of the proteins from strawberries. From strawberries, one of the proteins from strawberries called berberine. Okay. So pure vitamin D3, vitamin K2, magnesium. You add this sometimes you can add it together. You can add it together, and sometimes you can add it as a supplement individually. Remember, we spoke about calcium. Calcium and vitamin D3 work together. Okay, do you get that? Calcium and vitamin D3 work together. So take note of that. Calcium and vitamin D3, they are twins. To achieve longevity, you must combine calcium and vitamin D3. When you combine it, it affects it can be used to reverse the age. Okay? The vitamin K2 and then magnesium. This combination has been proven by research that it has the ability to reverse the human age. That people will look younger than their normal age. Okay? Then there is something also called the spermidine. Take note of that. You can check it also online. Then the last one, SRT6. Okay, these are proteins. Dr. David Sinclair has been able to use all these. It takes most of them almost every day. And then he has been able to, he went a test that confirmed that he has been able to reverse like 20 years from his age because of that. So I want you to take note of this. Okay. So let me go back to our slide. All right. So the next person that is a Nobel Prize winner on longevity is Dr. Elizabeth Blackburn. She's a Nobel Prize winner. She won the Nobel Prize winner for her research on telomere, which I spoke about. She's the one that discovered that they can determine how long human beings can live just by measuring the length of their telomere. Okay. So she discovered that telomere is crucial for cellular aging and longevity and shaping the future study in the field. So that's what she was given an award on. Now, because of her, they can actually now predict how long people will live. They don't have accidents. There is no other from you can actually live long. Okay. Another person that is a world-renowned person on longevity is Dr. Nir Barzilai. And I like this one because I have a club called Centenarian Staff where I talk about how people can live long. Okay, so Dr. Nir Barzilai focuses on the biology of aging, and he has conducted extensive studies on centenarians, elderly people. How can you reverse their age? People that cannot walk again, people that cannot see. How can you reverse macular degeneration? How can you reverse brain health? That somebody that is beginning to lose their memory, how can you reverse it? So he has been able to uncover genetic factors that contribute to longevity, which are the things that we have been talking about. All right. So, okay, so let me continue next slide. Okay, so what is the impact of lifestyle on environment? The impact of our environment on our longevity. Okay. For me to explain that, I will only tell you that they said the life expectancy of a Nigerian is around 45 years to 55 years, which means if you live above 55 years in Nigeria, they are very fortunate because many people don't even live up to that age. But the life expectancy of people in Ghana is around 65 years to 70 years. Okay, so what does that tell us? If you want to live longer, sometimes it just requires you to change your environment. If you change the environment, you'll be surprised that you will live longer. So you can add some years to your years just by relocating from Nigeria to Ghana, or to China. Okay? Because they have a lifestyle that is unspoken that affects how long people live. In the way they wake up, the water they drink, the interactions, their daily activities, their diet, their social connection. Okay, let me digress a little. There was a recent research now about what is the most singular factor that determines how long people will live. And to shock everybody, it is not diet. It is not diet, actually. They said it is social interaction. That when people are connected to family and friends, and they have activities that take them out, no matter their age, they will keep having a reason to live and they will live longer. So it means that even mental health affects longevity. And then when somebody is going into the centenarian age, into the 70s, 80s, 90s, and is staying more indoor and is not interacting with the world around it, is already planning to die, which is very important for us to understand. That we should engage elderly people more in activities that keep them needed in the society, and you will be shocked, they will live longer. But when the world begins to leave them behind, they leave them, no social interaction, you don't know when they are around, when they are not around, they feel like the world has left them behind, and then they just go on like that. So social interaction affects longevity. This is not a molecule now. This is not enzyme. This is not nicotinamide mononucleotide. This works like medicine. Social interaction can affect. So if you have elderly ones around you, don't let them be without social interaction. Let them go out. Let them go to church. Let them go to, have community activities. Let them help people. Let them visit people. Let them go out, make friends, make new friends, interact with elderly people, young people, interact with their generation. They will live longer. Research proves. All right? So they also discovered that pollution, difficulty to access healthcare, difficulty to be sick. Many times some people live in a whole area and you don't even know your neighbor. You don't even know your neighbor. You just live in a compound that your fence is high, wall to the sky. You don't know your neighbor. You don't interact with anybody. You just enter your compound, then you go out. You don't interact with your street members. You don't interact with people around you. It is not good. Okay? So, then the other thing that affects longevity is stress. There are research-proven results that show that lifestyle choices like diet, exercise, stress management, they significantly influence longevity, as seen in the blue zone around the world. What do you mean by blue zone? There is an axis of location in the world, some countries that is called the blue zone. They are the countries where their lifestyle, their diet makes them to live longer. And we are going to see some countries from these countries. Okay, so we have environmental factors as well. Pollution level, look at, is it Mumbai or is it India or one of these countries around India that they can't even see, two people can't see themselves because of pollution. Already, it's going to affect their longevity. Okay? When two people cannot see each other because the atmosphere is so toxic. There's pollution in that country. And we have that in a lot of countries in the world where the atmosphere is toxic. There's a lot of emission from companies. And if you are in such countries, you can't do anything about the country itself, or you can do something about yourself, or protect yourself by eating more organic, because those things help to detoxify the system. Then you practice the science of detoxification. which we have spoken about in some of our previous sections. I don't have time to talk about it. Okay? So environmental aspects such as access to healthcare, access to social connections, pollution level, they play critical roles in determining life expectancy. Cultural practices like meditation, community living. I spoke about community interaction, nutritional tradition. They enhance well-being and longevity. You know, they offer valuable insight. You know, there are some cultures that naturally you will live long there because when you visit them, it's those natural foods, those vegetables, those natural drinks, those organic things that they will offer you. So, and they believe in it in their culture so strongly that it is now a cultural thing, not even a diet thing, and which means it is good for life and longevity. Okay, so there are advancements in genetic analysis that allow researchers to explore the genetic basis of aging, identifying potential interventions to delay aging process. Brian Johnson has been able to delay the aging process. So he's one of the persons I didn't mention that time when I was talking about robotics. I think, like, please Google Brian Johnson. He's a multimillionaire. He's an IT person. He created the international payment system. You know, he's a very rich guy. He has been able to reverse his age as well, to the extent that he's not only reversing his own age now, he's reversing his father's age. He transfuses his own plasma into his father's body, and the father is now reversing his own age as well. And then he transfuses his own plasma into his own body, and you know, and those things affect his genetics, and is reversing his age, as well as some of the things he does. He has a regimen, fasting, and intermittent fasting. He eats his last meal by 11 a.m. every day. He eats between 7 a.m. and 11 a.m. and he doesn't eat again. You know, and he eats very healthy, organic food. And he was looking very old before. Please Google his picture, Brian Johnson. I think I have his picture somewhere here. I don't want to go there. Or you can, Brian Johnson, just Google him. You will see his research. He now uses himself as a research. He has been able to reverse his age, like remove 25 years from his age. He can do things. He's 47 years old, but in his biological age, his cellular age, he has been able to, and he does it daily. He does some practices, exercise, diet, and some protein. He takes plasma. He takes, you know, some other things, and then it helps. Okay. So currently now there are rigorous clinical trials that are testing for longevity interventions currently, and there are a lot of findings to that. So I don't want to waste time. So what is the role of nutrition and lifestyle promoting longevity? Number one, balanced diet and nutrient intake. The balanced diet, please take note of what I'm going to mention now. The balanced diet that is rich in essential nutrients will support bodily function and it will reduce the risk of chronic diseases, which makes longer lifespan. I spoke about that at the beginning. Antioxidants as well. There are life-changing antioxidants that you can get from fruits. Okay, so antioxidants are phytochemicals found in fruits and vegetables. They combat oxidative stress and they promote cellular health and activity. So I will still mention them. Okay, let me mention some of them. We have this glutathione. Glutathione is, you know, everybody should have that as well. Glutathione, whether as a supplement or foods that are rich in glutathione. I think avocado is rich in glutathione, and watermelon seed. That watermelon seed that people remove, they should not remove it. You know, I spoke about it in the last edition that every part of the watermelon is actually medicine. Every part of the watermelon, from the green external to the white inner layer to the red fleshy part, and then to the seed of the watermelon, everything should be eaten. Everything should be eaten. And guess what? Watermelon is very rich in one of the most powerful antioxidants in the world. If this antioxidant is high in your body, sickness will vanish. You internally, you are going to look like a young person, like a youth. You are going to renew your youth internally. So watermelon seed is very, very good. Blend it together with the watermelon, with the back of the watermelon, with the white part of the watermelon. In fact, the least nutritious part of the watermelon is what we are eating, is the red part. So if you really want to take watermelon, the green back of the watermelon, the white part of the inner layer of the watermelon, and the seed. If you blend those three together, you have your anti-aging nutrients. Okay? So if you can't do that every day, you can add honey to sweeten it, or a sweetener like dates or something. Okay? So portion control as well. They said if you really want to be healthy, don't eat anything cooked beyond 7 p.m. I spoke about that in the previous edition. I will not speak much about that now. So practicing portion control. If you are the one that likes eating like 3 plates of rice or 2 plates of rice, reduce it to half plate and eat more vegetable to make it up. Okay, that's better. And then if you are from the African people, you are an African that you like eating 5 wraps, 4 wraps of a particular food, you know, of the solid food you eat, just reduce it to 1 or 2 wraps. Your body will get used to it because it will affect you. Let me say this now. Too much food will reduce your lifespan. Too much food will destroy your pancreas, will overlabor your liver and your kidney, and it will affect your longevity. Please take note of this. If you didn't get anything, get that. Too much food. So from now, everyone listening to me, reduce the quantity of your food and it will extend your life. Just deliberately reduce it. If you know you like 3 scoops of rice, reduce it to 2. If you know you are the one that takes 2 scoops of, reduce it to 1. You know you take 4 meats, you like 1 chicken, 1 beef, 1 fish in your food, reduce it to only 1 fish. Not because you are poor, but because you are wise. Right? This is $1 million advice. All right. So please, I don't want to take time here, but reduce your stress level. Develop coping strategies for stress. Sleep at the normal time. Measure your sleep habit. They said 5 to 7 hours of sleep per day is okay. And make it a habit, a regular time. Now, let me give you this secret. The sleep between 10 p.m. and 12 midnight is double sleep. Okay, it has been proven. If you sleep between 10 p.m. and 12 midnight, you achieve more sleep than between 12 midnight and 4 a.m. Did you get what I just said? So between 10 p.m. and 12 midnight, if you sleep, you have like 4 hours of rest inside your biological clock. It's a research proven discovery. So that's why you are here on this conference to hear about it. Then, so it's better to sleep around 9 or 10 to 3 and then stay awake than to sleep from 12 to 5. Did you see that? So that is those are techniques to develop coping strategy for stress, because stress will affect longevity. You know what stress does? Let me give you the link. Stress can affect your telomere. Stress can reduce your telomere. All right? So have quality sleeping habits. Okay, so let's continue. I'm beginning to come towards the end. There is social engagement. I spoke about it. I don't want to maintain strong social connection. Find something valuable in the community to influence people. It's going to affect your life. It's proven. Number 2, mental stimulation and lifelong learning. Never stop learning. If you finish one training, go for another training. You don't have to run a university course. Keep learning training. Go for how to cook training, how to dance training, how to swim training, how to write books training, and all those training. Just go for all those training and keep training, no matter the age. Keep going for training, right? Mental stimulation activities will keep your brain active, and it will help protect against cognitive decline. The less you read, the more you forget. Write it down. The less you read, the more you forget. Don't read again, forget things. The less you talk, the more you forget. The less you interact, you help people, the more you forget. So see the secret. So cultivate a positive mindset and readiness. Always engage. Visit places, travel around your area, travel outside your area, travel around your city. Take a walk. Very good for longevity, right? So let's continue. Innovative technologies and their impact on longevity research. There is machine learning algorithm now that is analyzing how to extend human life. It's going on now. There's predictive analytics, which I mentioned. Measuring your telomere can determine, we can predict how long you will live. There is something called personalized medicine. Okay, it's coming up in medicine now. Personalized, customized medicine. It means that they will run some check through your body, some DNA check, and they will tell you beans is not good for you. Your DNA does not want beans, so you avoid beans and you live long. Or you have the tendency of developing a certain cancer at a certain age. There are tests now. There are AI innovative algorithms that can pick those proteins, those strange proteins and DNA anomalies now. So take advantage of them if you are in developed countries and go for tests. Be free so that you can know what to do with. Sometimes they will tell you, don't take this, you are one of those that should not be taking rice. It's called personalized medicine. Or this particular drug is killing you. Don't take it again. Or this particular antibiotic is killing you. So these are the secrets of longevity. Longevity is not just eating general healthy food. There are some people that broccoli is not for them. It is by studies. They do DNA mappings now to know the food that the nutrient that your DNA needs to live longer. So these are the global trends in research that is going on. There are family data. They are running family history. How many of you have realized now? They said some American actors are from Igbo land. Some of them are from Yoruba genealogy. They are discovering that even what's the name of this? The wife of one of the princes in the United Kingdom. They have realized that she's from Nigeria in ancestry. So they are studying ancestry, and ancestry can determine longevity. If they come from, for example, in Nigeria, research has proven that people from Akure, from Ondo State, is a research. I learned it from a training I went to. You find out that they live longer. You go to Akure in Nigeria, you find somebody that is 120 years walking around, and the younger brother is 107, and the younger one another one is 105, and the last one is 97 years old, and they are all together living. And you have somebody that the father is 130, and he is 100 years old. They are there in Akure. They are, because of their lifestyle. There was one that we got to interact with. The man said he doesn't take coke, he doesn't take anything in can, he doesn't take eba, he doesn't take rice. That we asked the man, what does it take? And that's what he said. And he gave the instruction to all his family, and they are all old. Following this, they eat the food from the farm that they planted their own, no GMO in their food. And they are living long, and it's showing. They don't eat anything in artificial containers. They don't eat it, and they are living long. So these are the research proven. There are other technologies now which are called the DNA modifications, genetic modifications that they use to affect longevity. Okay, so we can look at those things. They call them. There is genetic editing program that they use to edit people. Now they now realize that, okay, this person has some DNA combination that will prevent the person from living up to 70. So what do? They will edit it and inject a new code into the person's DNA, and the person can now
You
live
might need
longer.
to check your screen, sir.
Okay. So I think I will stop sharing the screen now. I will now go to the foods. Okay. Permit me to go to the food. So I can see, everybody can see that. Let's just go through. I have a list on myself, but everybody, just for our memory. Okay, so what are the foods that have been known? I did a YouTube video on my channel on what is the food that you should eat every day. What is the food that everybody should eat every day? There is a food that everybody must eat every day. That is beans. Beans. Okay? So I have 5 minutes to go now. Then we can write your question. You can post it on the chat board. Okay? The best food if you want to live longer, number 1 is legumes, beans. Beans will make you live longer. You may not like beans though, but let me tell you today, beans will make you live longer. It has been proven that beans contains even carbohydrates. Beans contain carbohydrates in the right proportion that we need it. Okay? So many people have blacklisted beans. And then I want to encourage you from now, have beans in any form, whether green pea, lentils, green beans, and all those other things. Okay? Any form of beans. If you are in this part of the world, we are in Nigeria, you eat beans in different forms, as akara, as lemon, as different things. All right? So take note of that. Then berries, strawberry, raspberry, blackberry, blueberry, and grapes in the berry family. Prune. You know the fruit called prune. All right? All the kind of berries. There are almost about 20 kinds of berries. Please always have berries somewhere in your food almost every day. If you can't do it every day, once in a week, just have it. I'm not going to give you a diet plan, but I will give you a general range for longevity. Number 1, beans. Number 2, berries. Number 3, nuts. Coconut, walnut, groundnut, which is your peanut, almond nut, hazelnut, all those nuts. Please take note of this. You don't have to eat solid food every time. You can just have nuts inside yogurt, and then you have introduced longevity into your diet. Okay? All right? Number 3, cruciferous diet. Cruciferous vegetables. Cruciferous vegetables. When we talk about cruciferous vegetables, we are talking about your broccoli, your parsley, your what do you call them now? Kale, your spinach, like that. Highly dense in longevity nutrients. Cruciferous vegetables, then dark leafy green, dark colored green vegetables. Okay, that's another secret. Grains, wheat, fiber, they also help, in longevity. I've mentioned beans. Mushroom, there are healthy mushrooms, okay? It's one of the healthiest food in the world. Anywhere you have opportunity to eat mushrooms, you can, if you are in the, like those of you in different parts of the world, look for mushroom. It's not readily available in Africa, but it's available in other countries. Mushroom, that are what we call the edible mushroom. We have poisonous mushrooms as well. But edible mushroom will prolong your life. They contain some extraordinary nutrients that are not in any other food, mushrooms. Okay, so I've mentioned, let me go through it again as a roundup. For longevity secret that you can do where you are now, wherever you are, you can't afford nicotinamide mononucleotide. It's $1 million in a container. Some people are buying it now. Glutathione. Some glutathione is 500,000. That's about, sometimes it can be like $50,000 to get a proper glutathione injection. Or you can buy some other glutathione supplement. Okay, if you can't do that, these herbs that I've mentioned contain glutathione. Some of them contain some measure of nicotinamide mononucleotide. They contain some level of superoxide dismutase. They contain ascorbic acid. They contain citric acid and all those things. Some phytochemicals as well. So around it all, carrots. Have it in your diet as often as you can. If possible, every day. If not, as every other day. If you have that added to your diet, then you're talking about longevity. You are serious about it. I will not spend time about exercise. Exercise does not mean you have to carry weight and lift weight, and no. Just walking, brisk walking. I've spoken about in the previous edition. Walking fast without running. In fact, some research said running is not healthy. So you don't have to run. If that is discouraging, don't run. Just walk as fast as possible for like 30 minutes every day. You would have exercised your entire body. Swimming is good. Moving about. Don't sit down too much every day. Make sure in every 1 hour, 2 hours, you're walking around. It's very good for the health. And then read books, learn new things. All right. So what else do I need to say? God, I cannot remove God from our talk. We are Christians, we have to talk about the advantage. God promises us in Psalm 91, the last verse, say, with long life will I do what? Will I satisfy you? I will show you my salvation. So longevity, God gives people long life as well. But remember in the Bible where God gave extra 15 years to the prophet, to the king Hezekiah. Okay, so God can give you long. God can even teach you and say, stop eating this particular food. Stop doing this. Stop doing that. You understand? Let me digress if I'm permitted. I don't know if I'm permitted to say this here. There are lifestyles that cut life short. Taking too much sugar, then they realize that this is a research. I am not saying this to condemn anybody. I am not. But let me say this. Research has proven that people who practice homosexuality contact dangerous bacteria and viruses that have the ability to cut the human life. Do you get that? So this is a research program. You can Google it and check it. They contact diseases that are not normal because of their abnormal sexual practices. And then this leads to weakening of their telomere, which leads to their early death. So why would one want to do things that will make him die? And too much sugar and too much food as well. Reduce all because it weakens the immune system and make the body susceptible to infection, which can take out the life. And then let's beware of handling phones. Don't sleep with your phone on top of your head, with your earphone on your ear, your earpod, or your electromagnetic radiation. Avoid, move it away at least 6 feet away from you in your room when you are sleeping. Not that it's on top of your bed, sending radiation into your brain and microwaving your body overnight. That is not healthy because it can lead to cancer, it can lead to, even without cancer, it can lead to some cognitive degenerative disorders, memory losses, and a lot of things that affect the health on the long run, especially the new technology of these 5G technologies. So what is the way forward? Detoxify your body by taking more water and liquid fruits. I spoke about diet plan and how to eat a healthy diet in the previous edition. Please, you can refer to those editions and get those secrets. And then you would have fortified your body against sickness. And if you don't have sickness, you're on the way to living long. All right. So thank you very much for this time, for this opportunity I've given me to share this secret with you. And we can welcome questions now, and then we can round up. Thank you very much.
Wow.
Over to you, bro.
Wow, this is awesome. This is awesome. This is awesome. Thank you very much for this awesome presentation, this eye-opening presentation today. I've learned a lot personally, and I also want to believe everyone on this call also learned a lot. I mean, when it comes to health is wealth conference, it's always something that I'm happy we are able to record, because you can't even finish tracking everything on a seat. You can't finish tracking it on a seat like this. I mean, just listening alone, you have to keep listening over and over again. Thank God for technology that enables recordings. Thank you very much for that, sir. You've said a quite number of things. Watermelon, you've talked about watermelon. Every part of watermelon is very useful, very healthy. From the green parts to the whitish parts to the seeds. But unfortunately, the least nutritious part of it is what we take most times, which is the red part. I've learned that. I think I tried it a couple times, but it wasn't really pleasant. I tried to chew the green part with the whitish part, but it wasn't tasting pleasant at all. So, somehow sour. But I think from this meeting now, I'm going to force myself to start doing that. So I think I'll just personally I'll make a juice out of it and see how it goes. Yeah, that really caught me, and I think everyone also should, look into adopting that watermelon. Yeah, watermelon is very, very healthy. And you also talk about eating less, living longer. Very strong point. Very strong point. If you want to live longer, you eat less. And what does it mean? What does the trainer mean by eating less? The quantity of the food you eat, the portion. So that's also quite important. Loading up yourself with threatening wraps of eba at 11 p.m. for the next 1 week is not healthy. It's not. It's not. It's not healthy. So, so eating heavy does not equal healthy living. Yeah. Very strong. Then you also talked about less stress, live longer. You also talked about the best time to sleep between 10 p.m. to 2 a.m. I mean to 12 a.m. Yeah, that time is always equal a double, hour of rest. Now you also talked about nuts in yogurt makes a good healthy living, and also healthy living diet, and also improves longevity. So I've picked a couple of just those bullets, I was just tracking them and taking note of them. And I want to believe everyone also learned a lot, and you've tracked what you also need to track. Definitely, it will be of good advantage to go over this recording again and listen very closely one more time, if not more than once. Personally, I have a couple of questions I'm going to be asking, but before then, let's see if anyone has a question or two. And from the comment section already, I can see people appreciating our speaker. Yeah, thank you very much. It was quite impactful. Yeah, really quite impactful. Thank you very much, sir. So, any question? Anyone who has any question? You might want to unmute your mic or you come up. Anyone with any question? Any
Okay.
question?
I have a question. Thank you so much, sir, for this knowledge given. Like it's really a great one for me. So I have a question about glutathione. Because of where I work here, I work with plastic surgeons, and I noticed that some patients they use glutathione for skin brightening. In fact, it's a major business here in Turkey and even UK. So I would like to ask, this is the first time I'm getting to hear that glutathione is so good for anti-aging. So what I know glutathione for is skin whitening and all those things. That is what people get that for. So is there a side effect or like what's the correlation between skin brightening and whitening and the effect of aging? Is it that it also works for skin whitening also? So I just want to have a clearer understanding of that, sir. Thank you, sir.
Okay. Concerning glutathione.
There is background noise, sir. We can hear
Oh,
the song.
okay. Okay. Concerning glutathione, they use it for. Okay, let me use. They use glutathione for skin health. They use it for skin health. They use it for building the immunity. You know, glutathione is like the number one antioxidant in the body. Okay, and what it does is to mop up every free radical, whether in the skin. Why people use glutathione for whitening of the skin is that it can remove everything that darkens the skin, that makes the skin wrinkle. It's just like a mysterious force. Is an antioxidant, okay, like a living enzyme. It goes into the system, removes anything that will cause cancer, that will cause aging, that will cause weakening of immunity, that will increase the blood pressure. It just regulates the system. So people use glutathione for skin as well, but the reason why it's working for skin is because it's working for bone, it's working for the blood, it works for the liver, it works for the entire body. There are about 3 antioxidants that are very powerful like that, and you will find them in skincare products. Women are dying for it. Number
Yes,
one
sir.
is glutathione. Number 2 is it's called superoxide dismutase, SOD. The third one is vitamin C. Now there is vitamin C. You know, we know the vitamin C in orange. Now there is vitamin C serum that women buy now, they use for their skin. Why are they putting vitamin C on their skin like an ointment? Because vitamin C and glutathione, they are twins. Anybody that has vitamin C in this body is expensive because, okay, let me say this. Glutathione and vitamin C, they are volatile. You cannot store them. So you must take them daily. If you take excess, the body will remove it. So it's a daily affair. So that's why women now have vitamin C in their skincare. They have vitamin C serum. They have vitamin C injection. They have vitamin C powder. They take vitamin C as food. So that is the mystery about it. That glutathione is a breakthrough research. Now it is in many supplements and many foods. It can cause whitening of skin, lightening of skin, removes everything contrary, and then it can repair the bones, it can regulate blood pressure, it can help the eyes to see clearly. It can do a lot of things, not just for skin. All right, so that's the answer for that. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Okay, any other question?
Awesome. Thank you very much, sir. Awesome. Thank you for the answer. Thank you for the question too. Awesome. Okay. Yeah, we have another question.
Asking questions. I can see questions in the chat box.
Yes, yes, that's what I want to read now. So,
Okay.
Olubukola is asking, okay, number one, where can DNA mapping be done in Nigeria? Okay, so let's take it one after the other, sir. So, where can DNA mapping be done in Nigeria? Any idea?
Okay. DNA mapping costs about $25,000. Calculate it in Nigerian money. Multiply $25,000 by 1,750. So when they tell you that there's a test we do, and the test is going to cost you about 13 million naira, will you do the test? Do you have 13 million? So nobody will bring such technology to Nigeria. So you understand why it is not being done here, but it is done in UK. It's been done in US, that they can do that mapping and they can tell people. We have seen some actors that have done it. You know, it takes boldness as well to go and do such tests. They will tell you how long you have to live. Hypothetically, though, you are not left to do things you need to do to prolong
Your
the
video
life.
is not on, sir.
Okay, so look at Angelina Jolie. She did a genetic mapping that showed that she will develop. She has the cancer, breast cancer. What do you call it now? Breast cancer gene, and she removed her two breasts. So that's how she's turning to a man. Angelina Jolie, one of these actresses in the US. Then she did another genetic mapping that said she has the possibility of having ovarian cancer because the marker, the precursor marker is in the DNA as well. And then she has removed her womb as well because she doesn't want to have that in the future. So if they do another technology now and they say she has the tendency of having eye cancer, is she going to remove her eye? And then the one for brain cancer, she will remove her brain. What will be left? I think what she should have done is to find out things that she can do to what? To deactivate that. And the secret, the biochemistry of that is that if we all increase our glutathione level, our vitamin C level, our superoxide dismutase level, and it is very high, it will deactivate all those cancer-causing genes and then prolong longevity. So that is the back door to that. But many people don't know that. They are just treating diseases, treating sickness. People believe only in doctors, medical doctors, fall sick and take drugs. What about preventive medicine? What can we do to stop somebody from from having diabetes and hypertension in future? What can we do? There are things the person can start doing now, especially if you have the DNA in the family. You understand? Somebody comes to me now and says dealing with hypertension. I say, who has hypertension in your family? You say, my mother, my father. Then you should start. You don't need to have it. We can deactivate that hypertension gene for you when we change your diet and put the necessary protein in the body in good concentration, and then the like that magnesium, the vitamin D, that combination I showed you, vitamin K, vitamin D3, and magnesium combination will prevent any cardiac disorder or blood pressure in future. So why won't people start doing that now? And then they just find out that they cross the age where all the families are having the disease, and they are free. Isn't that wisdom? You know? So that's the answer to that.
Okay, thank you very much for that, sir. Thank you very much. That's quite a whole lot of money. Okay, so the second question, due to the gluten content in wheat, is it still healthy for consumption?
Okay, I've heard that. Some people have even done videos on gluten. They washed wheat until they saw this plastic rubber-like content inside. Sometimes they find it in wheat, in semovita, in wheat, in blended powdery grains. It's in grains. Okay. The gluten is a pro-inflammatory factor, but it is in all grains. So the only way to do that is to reduce your wheat level, quantity, wheat consumption level, and eat more vegetables. You know, the way people eat in this part of the world is wrong. They will take 3 wraps of wheat and then just a small, tiny vegetable with it. No, it should actually be the big vegetable with 1 wrap, and then the body can handle that quantity of gluten. But when the person takes rice in the morning, eba in the afternoon, and then wheat in the night, that is gluten overload. And then they can begin to have symptoms of inflammation. They have low immunity. They are susceptible to diseases. And then, so it is the improper diet. You understand? Improper diet. Look at in the developed nations, egg is cholesterol, but the way they combine the egg is healthy. You understand? Rice is good, but the way they combine the rice, there should be more soup than the rice, not the other way around. You understand? So it is the lifestyle adjustment that helps. Okay? So I hope it is clear. Take less. You can't remove gluten from wheat. It's not possible, okay? Even if they write no gluten on the container, it's a lie. It's like those that write no cholesterol on your vegetable bottle. Oil is cholesterol. That is the name of oil. Cholesterol is oil. So they can't tell you that no cholesterol is a lie. So what we are saying is less of gluten-based meals. Eat more vegetables with it. Then you are safe. But you can't remove wheat and gluten. It's a natural constituent of all grains. Thank you.
Thank you very much, sir. Thank you very much. So does that suffice just to confirm what you said? Does that confirm that improper diet weakens immunity?
Yes, sir. That is one of the things I said. If you eat healthy diet, you are guaranteed to live long. Improper diet can disorganize the ecosystem of the body, destroy the normal flora of the gut, and then begin to damage organs. The body tries to recuperate, the body tries to make up for it. After some time, one kidney shuts down, the other one shuts down, the heart begins to cry, the liver, so there is no shortcut to eating the right food in the right quantity at the right time. That is the secret. And we can guide you on that, even if you are facing any condition. We can help you structure your diet and tell you this is how you should do it. And then the condition disappears and then you are living good. Thank you.
Okay. Awesome. Thank you, sir. And then the third question from Olubukola. Due to the nature of my job and other engagements, sleeping between 10 to 12 a.m., it seems sometimes possible how best I can handle this, because I've also noticed that any night I'm able to sleep on or before 10 p.m. I stay more productive the next day. So she's asking how can this be handled? Looking at a work schedule, 10 p.m. to 12 a.m., that period that you said is like the prime sleep time that helps the body to recuperate for the next day. So how can this be managed?
So develop a sleep schedule. You can now sleep before 10. If your schedule doesn't, take some hours, like 1 or 2 hours before 10, and then continue the other ones in the night. Just try as much as possible to cover your 5 to 7 hours of your sleep. Although by research, they say 10 to 12 is the best hour to achieve that. But if you can't get that by nature, because of the nature, then you can sleep in the day. Make up for that for the night. All right? I know people that do that because of their intensive schedule in the night. They sleep well in the day and they are more productive in the night. But make sure you have a consistent sleep pattern and your body and your mind are accustomed to. With that, you are good.
Okay, awesome. Thank you. Thank you very much for that, sir. So thank you, Olubukola, for that question also. So I will ask my own question too. You talked about canned foods, but I think somehow it's almost a thing impossible to run away from canned foods. So what do you advise as far as canned foods are concerned? Is it safe? Is it terrible? What do you advise?
Even in the US now, some proponents will tell you if it is in a can, don't come near it. Okay? So as much as possible, sometimes these things we are saying, when we are trying to be practical, it's difficult in some parts of the world. So what we can do is to reduce it to the barest minimum. If you have alternative, don't eat any canned food, anything in can, because they use the same embalming chemicals that they use to embalm dead people with a new flavor, with a new fragrance. Because how can you keep fish, like all those, I don't want to mention them because of copyright issues. How can you keep fish from UK to Nigeria? How can you keep it without freezing? Keep fish in your house on your table and watch. By afternoon, from 7 a.m., by 11, it's already going up. How come you not keep it for 6 months in a can? Who has that technique? There is only one way: embalm the fish. Add some crazy chemicals that will keep it to look as fresh as possible, although it's gone, the nutrients are gone. But so if you can, I know there's some part of the world where some of you are, everything is in a can. So you avoid it as much as possible. Go for organic substitutes. And if you can't, reduce it to the barest minimum and try as much as possible to find the organic to detoxify. So build organic into your diet. Build it. Carrot every day, carrot juice, and the cruciferous vegetables and things like that. Make sure you have them, because as you are doing it, you're actually canceling the negative toxins from the canned food, because all those chemicals they use to preserve the meat, the hamburger, the fishes, all those things, they are not healthy. Although they have flavor now, they've spiced them and they made it look those are commercial people, they want to make money, but they are not healthy for human consumption. In fact, when we want to treat cancer patients, people with arthritis, the first thing we get them, even infertility, we get them off anything canned. They go for almost 100% organic, and then they'll be fine. They begin to recover in about 30 to 60 to 90 days. They begin to recover.
Okay.
Even if sometimes, even with cancer, and the cancer does not go, the person begins to have a better quality of life. As some, we have cases like the person that trained me, where we have several cases of cancer that has been cancelled entirely, which I met them myself, and we are still friends till today. You understand? So it is our lifestyle and our diet that is actually leading to a lot of conditions. And once you can begin to change the diet in the healthy state, the body too begins to recover, because the body has the ability to recover itself. The body has that healing ability to heal itself. If you give it the raw materials, it will destroy the cancer. It will regulate the blood pressure. It will regulate the blood sugar. So we have seen that in practical terms.
Okay.
Thank you, sir.
Okay. All right. Thank. And when we're talking of canned foods, also does it include the paper version of those preserved foods, like maybe tomato in a paper-like package? All those I don't know how do I put it now? Okay.
I know the Ziplocs and all those less anything that they did not, when you're buying things, basically read the content. Read the content. That's how you will know. Then number two, if the seal is not fully a permanent seal, like those paper logs, you know that their expiry date is more reduced.
Yeah.
That means they are healthier options than the canned ones. The fully canned means there is chemical there, sealed off, but those ones are telling you that these things, we are packaging it with very short lifespan. We mean you to consume it as soon as possible, which means they are the healthier options than the fully canned options.
Okay. Okay.
They can survive, yes, so they are better off.
Okay. 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 Perfect. Okay. Then my next question, how healthy is it to take because I know there are different types of beans. There's this specific type, kidney beans. I don't know if you're really familiar
Yeah,
with kidney beans.
there
So
are different kinds.
so and it's also canned. So kidney
Okay.
beans is also in can, it's also canned. So how healthy is it to take kidney beans?
As long as it is canned.
Considering the fact that it's also canned, yes.
Protein can degenerate so fast. So talking about meat, fish, beans, things that can egg, they can get contaminated faster because bacteria can grow on them as soon as, even when you don't taste it, they're already growing there. So it's better off to avoid. You see, let me explain it. Any food you have that has one liquid inside the content, apart from the food, like all those canned corn, what do you call it? Sweet corn, hamburgers, all those fishes, those anything that has this special water inside a food stuff, whether it is kidney beans, so as long as there is this water that the thing is in, that water is the danger. They are trying to keep it. Maybe they bake that beans a little. They want you to eat it without on the go. You understand? But it is not healthy. Why don't you get your raw beans and from the farmer's market and
okay.
make it?
Okay, so also alternative, I get it now. So alternatively, what I do, because I take it sometimes, especially when I want to make some noodles. So I use the kidney beans with it. So alternatively, what I do, after opening the can, I pour out the water. Then the sizable portion I want to use per time, so I put it in the container and use warm water to turn it over, rinse it, use warm water. Then from there I use. So so does it look does it look like it makes any difference at all? Does it make any difference?
It makes different. It makes some difference because you are going to reduce the concentration of the chemical, but
Yes.
you can't achieve 100%. It's fair enough. You are
like everything free for you.
okay. So you are conscious of the health condition. So it's okay. It's better off because I understand where you are. In the part of the world where you are, you might not have access to raw. So you can do that as well. It's fair enough. At least you have as much as possible detoxified the. Some people even say you should add salt when you are rinsing them or soak them with salt as well. They are just trying to make sure that as much as possible you detoxify the food before you. Some will even say you should soak certain things into vinegar. They use apple cider vinegar, you soak it in there to remove the glyphosate, the pesticide, the chemicals. Then you have, something near organic. They do that as well. So you can use apple cider as well. Just dilute it and soak it inside as well before you proceed. You now rinse it off, and then you have a very, you understand, as much as possible, something that is safer than just drinking the way we used to do with some of those fishes. We even turn their liquid into the soup of that we are using itself, which is not good at all.
Okay. Awesome. Then before I ask my last question for the day, I'm going to be reading another question from Olubukola. Okay, she said, I react to latex gloves, which I try to avoid. I've tried to find out the reason for this, but couldn't. Please, are there foods for me to avoid?
Okay. So there is a chemical in that powder that your body has antibody against. So you have to avoid using the powdered latex gloves. You should use the blue glove, the one without the latex, without the powder. Okay, but it means your body has. It's like some people react to numb. Some people react to dust. They have some antibodies in their body that they've been exposed to from childhood that their body doesn't want that. It's just one of their makeup. That was what we were talking about, personalized medicine. Some people cannot just withstand some food. Some people it is beans. Some people it is milk. We have those that are lactose intolerant. Milk, they cannot process milk. Milk can kill them. They just cannot digest it. It just forms a poison in their body. So yours might just be that. So you avoid the trigger, which is the condition that you have. So you look for alternative. Wear gloves that doesn't have this powder that your body reacts to. And if it is the latex glove itself that you are reacting to, then you have to find alternative to that. Maybe you find another kind of glove made from another fabric. But it means your body has this no effect. Your body has an antigen against that exposure. So your body doesn't want it. It's not a matter of food. You understand? It's a matter of your body. Your DNA doesn't want it. So you should avoid it. Find an alternative to that. Maybe you will wear something on your hand first, maybe a cloth glove, before you now wear the latex glove on it. It's a way of finding a solution if you have to. If you cannot do without wearing gloves, there is a professional way you require gloves. You have to protect yourself as well. All right.
Okay, great. Thank you for that. Then the last question for today. So there are a couple of things one has been aware of and all that, but I think it's important to hear from you. So, like, how many eggs do you think should be considered healthy enough to take in a day?
Well, the research is going on. There is a man that takes 25 eggs in a day. Some people use it for longevity. Some people say it's 10, some people say 3, some people say 1 egg a day. I will give you the two sides of it. It's not about the eggs. It's about the balanced diet. If you tell me now that you eat 25 eggs a day, I will ask you, what other things do you eat? Number 2, what is your energy consumption level? If you're a runner, you're a weightlifter, and you take 25 eggs a day with vegetables, you're okay. You run, you lift weight, you are burnt it, and your body will convert the rest to energy, and then you'll be good. But you are eating 2-3 eggs a day, and you are sitting down in one point with other rice, other food, and other with less vegetable. You are pumping cholesterol into your system, which will be converted into fat and a lot of other things. Do you get it? So I would say stick with 1 to 2 eggs per day. Not fried though. Fried is another ballgame entirely. We are talking boiled. When we're talking about egg a day, we are talking boiled egg. If we're going to take fried egg, it has to be once in a while. Once in a while, very once in a while. But on a normal scale, 1 to 2 boiled eggs is for a healthy person who eats vegetables, it's okay. But if you are from this part of the world where we have rice and yam and fufu and eba in our diet, then it's either 1 a day or 1 every other day. Because egg is it's one of the healthiest foods in the world. Just like beans, boiled egg, very healthy. For the elderly people, young people, sick people, healthy people, take egg. Just like beans. Okay? So 1 to 2 eggs per day is okay for an average person. Except you have something high intensity exercise, you are a runner, you are a mountain climber, you expend energy, you work in a factory, you lift and then you can go for more than that as long as you are burning it fast, then you're good to go.
Okay, so taking 1 or 2 like every day it's
okay.
Okay.
Egg contains almost like 70% of the nutrients human beings need to live, to stay alive. So it's a shortcut to taking supplements.
Okay.
Yes. Egg is very healthy. Boiled egg every day. We should have 1 egg every day. At least 1 egg every day.
Okay.
It will affect your skin color. The glutathione is there as well. It's there. and all those things we need for a good skin, good immunity. Children, adults, babies, we all need it. Elderly people, yes.
Okay, awesome. Oh, thank you very much, dear coach. It's been a great time today. I've learned a lot. Likewise,
Thank you.
every other person on this call has learned a lot. It's live on YouTube. People will keep learning as long as YouTube exists. Internet never forgets. The video will always be there. And it means the impact of this training tonight goes beyond us.
Yes.
And we are so grateful for this time. Thank you
Thank you very much.
so
Thank you. I appreciate it. Thank you, everybody. I hope that we will meet again in another edition where we are talking about something life-changing as well.
Exactly.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. We're so happy to have you. And can we appreciate our coach in the chat room? Let's know how grateful we are tonight. Let's know how grateful we are to our coach. Thank you for the time. Thank you for the knowledge. Thank you for the experiences you've shared with us, even though we know quite well they never came cheap, but you came around to give them for free. We are so grateful for this generosity. Thank you very much, sir. And yeah, that takes us to the end of this training tonight. Like we said earlier, next year is another awesome, glorious, marvelous year. We're looking at achieving more glorious and more amazing stuffs in the community, and a couple of new chapters we are going to be exploring in our conferences next year. So some of those things have been highlighted before. So we're going to be looking at them next year. And most likely this might be the final conference for this year. Most likely. We're not sure yet, but most likely. The next conference is going to be in January, most likely. But definitely we'll keep you posted. And also we have said next year, we are also going to be taking a couple of personal development trainings. I think this year we only took about 1 or 2 on time management. So next year we're going to be taking more regular personal development sessions in our conferences like this also. So we've got a couple of things to do next year, but they are still all subject to the availability of the qualified speakers to come speak to us, because I mean, really it's not quite an easy thing. I mean, it's not an easy thing to get speakers to come and talk to us on this platform. I mean, it's not always an easy thing. You know, you have to speak to the right person who is also available and also willing to come share for free. That's another thing. So yeah, so we have to consider all of that. So it's not something really quite easy like that, but we hope that next year we're able to land some big partners to come speak on this platform next year also. So thank you very much, everyone, and just keep an eye on our pages for updates every single time. And personally, I want to encourage you to revisit this recording. Okay, it will be of great advantage to revisit this recording on YouTube. It's just completely there on YouTube, unedited. You get it raw, including the questions and answers. You will get everything on YouTube every single time. You can also share it with other people so people can also benefit from what you have learned from tonight. So it doesn't end with you. You also pass it on to other persons. Okay. This takes us to the final phase of this meeting tonight. And thank you very much, everyone, for your time. Thank you for attending tonight. And we also want to invite you next year. Be committed enough to invite people when you are coming for this kind of conference next year. So don't come alone. Make sure you also come with people next year. I mean, it's basically free. Okay, we're just trying to use our time, use our connection, use our linkage, use our platform to impact the community for free. So it's completely free. So what we need in return is just your attention and your attendance. That's what we need here. We need your attention, we need your attendance. So we encourage you to share this with people, invite people. As of next year, don't come alone. Come with other persons into the meeting. And finally, we held this training, this conference 2 p.m. today, Nigerian time, as against the 7 p.m. we've been doing traditionally. So we were trying to test out a couple of things and see which one works better or something. So before we go, let's hear from you. You can drop it in the comments section, or if you want to unmute, you can. What do you think works better? To have it always in the evening, 7 p.m. like we've always been, or to have it in the afternoon like we did today, 2 p.m. something. So we want to hear from you. We always like to hear from you, basically. Okay, anyone? Let's hear from you. You can type or you can unmute. So I think that's the last thing on the agenda today. Okay, please go ahead.
Okay, sir. Thank you so much once again for all your efforts. Yeah, for me, I would say afternoon is still preferable, because I noticed that there have been some sections that were scheduled for the evening time, Nigerian time, that clashed with some other, especially knowing that most of the parts, or at least a larger percentage of participants of this training, are members of the Dream Center family that clash with some other ministry meetings. So I don't know, for me, I think I still prefer the afternoon time, except when you are so much assured that there won't be any clashing meeting. That's all I have to say, sir.
Okay, awesome. Thank you very much for that. Yes, thank you very much for that. Very valid. Thank you very much for that. Yes, that's a very valid and top-notch point. Yes, thank you very much. Any other contribution? Any other contribution? Okay. So, yeah, thank you very much for that. So, so next year, of course, we'll discuss this also at the management level, but most likely we're going to be, the time might be flexible. So, considering a couple of other things, so we can always function between afternoon and evening, depending on a couple of factors, couple of things, but we might have to stick more with 2 p.m. It might be any other time anyway, but in the afternoon, we might have to stick more with afternoon than evening next year, like you suggested to, yeah, except there's need for us to now have it in the evening or something. So there will be room for that kind of flexibility as from next year. So we can always function between afternoon and evening as occasion demands. Yeah. Okay. So we just wanted to hear from you if you're fine with this afternoon schedule. Yeah. Okay. Thank you very much for that. So we'll be calling it a day here. Please do well to share this particular link with other people. Let them also listen to what you've benefited from tonight. And then see you most likely January for the next conference. And it's great to say thank you to everyone, including our speaker. Thank you very much, sir, for your time and your attention. Always say yes to our calls. We appreciate you, sir. Thank you very much. And thank you, everyone. And do have an amazing weekend and new week ahead. Thank you.